NFL is always a weird situation. And when we start talking about the NFC East in general, you can think of they put all of the heavy competition on the back end of the schedule. And you look at the Giants, they are still in the playoff race. They are literally still in the playoff race, believe it or not. They are 5-8, and you look back at their last game, DeVito has given the team some type of spark. Their defense is fighting. They're playing through the echoes of the whistle. You can see some of the coaching staff got these guys in order, getting their mindset together. And who would have thunk of that they are literally a quarterback away from being a real solid team over there in New York land, right? And when you start thinking of the Giants, DeVito, since he pretty much got comfortable with the offense, they have at least been staying afloat. Salute to Saquon Barkley. He brings that element to the table. If you can continue to take control of TOP, time of possession, limit the quarterback to a degree of game management, because a lot of people look at the quarterbacks throughout the league and say, well, that's just a game manager. But if you just limit DeVito to make the necessary throws when it's necessary, and they fool around and win out, shoot, they in the playoff. They will be a red-hot team in the playoff. Now, granted, it will be a stretch or a reach for them to get there, but when you look at everything, there's a possibility. And looking back at that game of the Giants versus the Green Bay Packers, you can see that they are hungry and they are buying into the philosophy of what the coaching staff is delivering. You never want a team that got their back against the wall fighting for something getting into the playoff. That's all I'm going to say with that. So shout out to the schedule makers for creating this world of, hey, you got to see this thing all the way through the end. And that's me objectively speaking for the Giants. Believe it or not, if anybody's old enough to remember 2007, let me know in the comment box below. But DeVito, he's doing his thing. Salute to the coaching staff fighting through and playing through the echoes of the whistle. Now, the Washington team, they are looking for draft picks now. And they had the vacation mode last week because it was a bye week, and there is no really room to talk about them. All I can say is that they probably trying to iron out and see what they're going to do for the 2024 season. No offense to the Washington community. Now, granted, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Eagles, the matchup that everyone was waiting to see. I'm not going to go back and forth and say, well, the Cowboys offense is this and the Cowboys defense is that. They did exactly what I've been preaching and teaching, TCB. For those who don't know, that's take care of business. And SOB, what do that mean, Law Nation? Stand on business. And the Cowboys did just that, but the product in the race is not over with yet. The product is you still got to go out here for the Buffalo Bills game and show up, right? And then we got to continue to take this momentum, although we are the best team in the NFC East for right now. And one can argue that's not just for right now. That is to stay. But although we may be at the top of it, we still need the Eagles to slip up one more time, and we need the 49ers to slip up one more time. But we can't be satisfied for what we are at right now, looking at what we are looking at. Ladies and gentlemen, we still got to close out. We got to finish this particular fight. We got to take care of business against the Bills, and then we got to take care of business against the Dolphins, the Detroit Lions, and then the Washington team at the end. I would say this, though, with the Philadelphia Eagles. They are a gritty team. They do have the levels of resiliency all around them. But for right now, it's looking very grim for them. So they are going back, looking over everything and doing a self-inventory of themselves or looking at themselves in the mirror. And they are sitting there saying, okay, they played against the 49ers. They beat the brakes off of them, beat them so bad that they were thinking like, all right, this is going to be a good bounce back game. They went and got Darius Leonard, not going to call him Shaq. They went and got him Darius. And what he had in this past game, 2 tackles, not really moving the needle for them. They got shambles of their defensive coordinator really not putting those guys in right positions. And one can argue the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, yes, they got a good front. The front is really nice. But where they got the issues at, secondary and the willingness to make complete plays on the edge, far as Darius Slay and Bradbury. Those guys, I know that there's some type of turmoil going with their organization on their skill sets. Are they willing to tackle and things like that? And Seth Joyner already ripped them apart and said that they basically are pretenders. And we ain't going to go back and forth with what he's saying, but 9 times out of 10, hey, he got some scans on the wall over there in Eagles land. So there's a little truth to his delivery there. Now, they got to solidify another win in order to stay afloat. And I'm going to tell you, the Seattle Seahawks, they are not finna look at this game and lay down. That particular coaching staff, Pete Carroll, never lost 5 games in a row. They just lost 4. So we will see how they're going to look. But I'm going to tell you, if the Eagles fool around and not be prepared to go up against those Seattle Seahawks, shoot, JSN gonna eat. DK Metcalf gonna eat. Tyler Lockett, man, that dude gonna eat. Noah Fant, they got weapons. And on top of that, they running game ain't nothing to sneeze at too. So they got weapons. It's just the fact that we don't know who's going to be the quarterback. If Geno is playing, it's going to be a situation and scenario. They're going to put up good numbers against that Philadelphia Eagles, right? And on the offensive side of the coin with the Philadelphia Eagles, there's a lot of people going back and forth to saying, is Hurts okay? Because there seemed to be something going on with him, right? And the Brian Johnson philosophy, or is it really Nicholas Sirianni calling the plays? Regardless of who calling the plays, it looks bland. There's no unique creativity with that particular team, and I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. You do got playmakers, by the way, out of A.J. Brown and my guy Smitty. But those guys in games, they can't be putting the ball on the ground. And if they are doing that, then you see exactly what you see. When your playmakers make mistakes, shoot, it's a long night for the Philadelphia Eagles. And one can argue that, shoot, this is pretty much the back end of the schedule when you want to take momentum and slide into the playoffs with that. You see, a lot of people talk about football in general, but I'm telling people that December and January is when you want to play your best. And trust and believe, September, October, there's no Super Bowl to be won in those particular months, but you're going to have to want to play your best on the tail end of the months and take that momentum and go into the playoffs and win from there. Now, granted, I've seen the Giants do that, right? We've seen even the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles do some type of momentum run toward the end, even though their quarterback got hurt, who was on an MVP run, talking about Carson Wentz, right, to win the Super Bowl in 2017. Now, my team, I don't got a lot of room to say about that because last time we did something remarkable and to that degree was in 1995. That's a long time ago. But I'm going to say this, that the Dallas Cowboys now, we got that momentum situation that's swinging in our favors, and all we got to do is just win out. And TCB and SOB, that means take care of business and stand on business, and make sure that you remove all doubt. And you can do that exactly if you stand firm with what you believe in. Now, granted, the Cowboys been red hot, and let's see what we can do down the stretch. Let's take care of business. Let's close this thing all the way out. We got unfinished business. And the Eagles, man, you guys going to need a game, a real good game against the Seattle Seahawks to get back, to get back on that groove. And we'll be looking. This is a must-win game for you all, just like it's a must-win game for the Cowboys and the Giants. That's been my time. That's my recap of everything. You guys know how it goes. Salute to the Super Friends. Hey, DC for life, though. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Salute. Peace.